we had a nice weekend. I hope you guys and gals all had a great weekend. But it's getting that time of year now where it's really important that we get focused on business again. And that's not to say we haven't been focused on business, but the end of June, July, and the first half of August, let's face it, a lot of people are on vacation, the kids are out of school, the college kids are out. And now, for the most part, other than up north, everybody's going back or went back this weekend, or they start tomorrow. And generally that's a sign that it's time to get back to work, or back to business, as we call it. So April's got a great training for you tonight. I got a few things I want to remind you of, the least of which is tomorrow night. And I mentioned this last night, but every month, there's always a few dates or events that are crucial or are much more important, I should say, than some other days of the month. And tomorrow night is one of those days. Okay, we do our collagen launch Zoom live once a month. Sometimes we do it twice, but it's been once a month for the last 3 or 4 months. And that's an opportunity for everybody to get anybody on to see what's going on. And there's always different challenges when you're trying to maybe get someone to an in-person meeting or an in-person event or to attend something, but there's zero excuses for somebody to not watch a 30-minute Zoom, okay? There just are no excuses. And you should never tell them this. This is a no-no. You should never, ever mention it. But you being in the business, we record them and post the recording. And if they miss the live, you can always send them the recording. You just never tell them that because they will always miss the live and ask for the recording and they never watch it. Okay. And what's important is this. You see how we can all see each other? We're interacting with each other. You are part of this training. You're live. You're part of it. Okay. And when we do those launch Zooms like we're doing tomorrow night, they're part of the show. They're one of the Hollywood Squares. Okay. They're part of the show. And there's a big difference between being a part of the show and watching a rerun. Would you agree watching a show live for the first time is better than watching a rerun? Right? Don't we all enjoy it the first time more than the rerun? And they don't know this. And the reason I'm sharing that with you, they don't know this, okay? But you and I need to know this. And how do you get them to attend the event? It's the most important thing they could do that night, period. That's how you get them to attend. It's a once in a lifetime. When's there another one? I have no idea when there's another one. I just found out about this one and you don't want to miss it. Okay. You don't lie. You don't fib. You don't, you just, I have no idea. I just found out. Okay. And I'm going to be on it. And I know there's a limited number of seats and I thought of you first. And you're going to want to log in about 5 minutes early so you don't get locked out because there's not going to be enough seats for everybody that wants to see it. That's how you talk to somebody. That's how you make them. That's how you make them create a desire in a person to want to be a part of it. Okay. And this happens every time after the event. They will thank you for making the event important enough so that they were on it. Okay, instead of being, I call it weak-kneed, and giving them the opportunity to weasel out of it, okay, and just make up an excuse to not be there. So let me go over a few events, and then I want to get it right over to April, so I need to share the screen. Let me just do that quick. Okay, hopefully you can see that, and you got the message from me the other day, but this is the invite for tomorrow night's collagen launch. Okay. And just so I've gotten a lot of text, and we do have a lot of new consultants on for the first time tonight. So welcome. Okay. We love the fact that you're plugging in.
we're looking forward and really hoping we get to meet you in person in San Antonio. Okay, but if not, we'll continue the relationship online until we do meet you in person. But just so you know, this training that we're on right now, the ID number that you use, that 386 number, okay, that never changes. So if you ever don't have the link, you can just go back to a previous week and that link will work. And that is the same ID number that we use for the collagen launch that we're doing tomorrow night. So our Sunday night training and our collagen launches, the Zoom ID number is always the same. It never changes. And you have it right now, you know, on your phone. You have it if you're getting the messages from me. So you don't ever have to worry. Now, if we do something special or if we plug in with another team and we're plugging into their Zoom, then it could be a different link. But if we're hosting it like this, our Sunday night training, and we're doing our team collagen launch, which is what we're doing tomorrow night, it's always that same ID number. So to make it a little bit interesting or a little bit more fun, whatever consultants, okay, the 3 consultants with the most guests, they don't have to join, okay? But I'm telling you, if you have enough of them on tomorrow, you will get customers and consultants. They will join, okay? But the 3 consultants with the most guests on tomorrow night Zoom get to pick a swag gift from the picture below. It's a bottle, it's a fanny bag, a t-shirt, you know, you get to pick. And whoever had the most guests gets to go first. And we'll just go in order, okay, of who had the most guests. So just like I said, a little added incentive. LifeVantage makes some great bottles, okay, water bottles, Axio bottles, and they make some great t-shirts and stuff. So start inviting, okay? You should have already been inviting, but the beauty of it is the shorter the notice, the better and more likely they will be there. Too far out, if you're not reminding them about getting on it, okay, other things will creep up on them. Your reminder on their text thread will get off of their front screen. You want to stay on their screen, okay? You know what I mean? They'll get enough text where you go below the line and they have to scroll to find you. So don't forget to remind everybody tomorrow that you're looking forward to seeing them on the Zoom, okay? Now, besides that, let me go to the next slide. Okay, we will be, April and I will be in Chicago, okay, a week from tomorrow night, August 28th, live, okay, doing a live in-person event at Dr. Catalina Grege's office. And everyone from the team in Chicago is invited. And obviously you're invited and expected to bring guests with you. So April and I are both flying in for this. It'll be both of us. And, you know, that's on the left side there. Now, for those of you that may know people in Florida, and the reason I'm promoting these, April and I are either doing the trainings or we're hosting the event for the person that is doing the training. Okay. So last week, this past Wednesday, the 16th, we were the featured speakers for the event. Then on the 30th, we got Brandon Cunningham, who's a presidential consultant with the company. For those of you that are new, that means his business is doing over $1 million a month in volume. Okay. And Brandon's one of the good guys in his business. He's done a phenomenal job, he and his wife, Lynette. And April and I will be there. So the whole point is, if you know anybody in Central Florida, circle that date, send them to the meeting and have them ask for either me or April, and we'll take care of them for you. That's your guest, but we'll make sure we see them next to us. We'll make sure that they get their questions answered. We'll make sure they leave that meeting feeling good. We'll introduce them to Brandon, who will be, speaking from the front of the room. So don't miss. Everybody knows somebody in Orlando. Look, 5 million people have moved to this state since April and I did 20 years ago. Our population is up by 5 million. And Central Florida is one of the big areas. So give some thought to who you know there and send them. Okay.
let's see, let me get the dates right. Okay, so there's 2 more Orlando events in September. On the 13th of September, Erica Dale, who again is fabulous, okay, she will be doing the training. And then 2 weeks later, April and I will be the speakers again, and some of the local distributors will be hosting it. So you have the opportunity to send somebody to an Orlando meeting. 3 of the next 5 weeks, there will be meetings here, and we'll either be hosting or doing the meeting. So please take advantage of that. Okay, so let me stop my share here. We will allow some time at the end to open it up for questions, but I want to give April as much time as she needs. I know she's planned a great training. Please, take notes on this. She spent a lot of time just kind of coordinating it. It's a training that we've lived by for about 30 years. So it's very valuable. And April, can you take it from here?
Yep, I can. How's everybody doing? Good evening. I thought I lost my screen there for a little while. I'm going to go ahead and share these slides. It's always the most challenging point. Once we know they're up, we're good. Let's see.
Just hit the
Yeah,
play button
play
and
this
you're
one.
good.
Yeah, let's see if it goes into play. Okay. And it's not.
Are you good?
Yeah, it's not. Wait a minute.
See, it was good for us.
I know it was good, but it's on play. It needs to be on,
Oh, the top window manual.
yeah. It's always hard to find it. Okay, there we go. Play. It hides behind the Zoom. Okay. All right. So we're going to talk about developing your funnel. Can you see that, Bobby? Can everybody hear?
Yeah, you full screen?
Yeah, yeah. So this way you can see the whole thing, and then I'll come back and remove it. So we're going to talk about developing your funnel. And this is really important. This is really going to be the basis of your business. And a lot of it is the mindset too that goes into it. And as long as you start to, and the best analogy I can give is if you consider this to be like a snowball, and you start with a very small snowball and you start to get it bigger and bigger. And what I'm going to take you through is my mindset when I'm developing my funnel, or what goes on with my funnel. So the first thing in developing your funnel is you need to get good at friendshipping. And so I know that can be a hard thing. That can be a scary thing, being an introvert. It can be hard, but I do promise the more that you practice just starting to talk to people and get into conversation with people, the better you will get at this. And it's kind of a 2-part thing. So we need to learn to, simply either smile at people, acknowledge people, start a conversation with people. And this is where that friendshipping will go. Some of us do this, Bobby's one of those people that does it quite naturally. He just enjoys talking to people. He just enjoys talking to people. Where me, when I talk, I always there's a reason why I'm talking. So very different. But, as long as it's on your mind, you can start this friendshipping very easily. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create some interest in ourselves, and then also in the product, and ultimately our opportunities. So as we're going through this funnel, we're going to talk about creating desire in the product. And again, desire in the product, if we could maybe even get rid of desire and put in benefits of the product. People want to use the products for benefits. It's so, so important that we keep it to the benefits. And, unless you're a physician, you really don't have to get into that science part. People really aren't that interested in it. They want to know if it works, what it'll do for them. It's all about them, and how they can get it. And then lastly, that's when we're going to walk into sharing the opportunity to either purchase, get it at a discount, get it for free, or to earn. So, those are the steps that we're going to take. And this is different. We used to use this same exact training where we got into the opportunity a lot quicker. But I want you to realize when we look at First Life Vantage and we look at our industry, over history, we've gone from multi-level marketing to network marketing to pretty much direct sales is what people will say, or social selling, or there's a few things where we talk about selling. Because when you look across the board at these companies, especially the companies that are doing well, a good portion of the people that are in the company or purchasing the product are consumers, they're customers. They're not necessarily distributors. Where years ago, when you looked at a company such as this, it truly was kind of multi-level because it was, distributor or consultant on distributor on consultant on distributor consultant. This has all changed. And a lot of it is done on purpose and by design, because when we think about the cost of people getting involved with our company, I mean, the max at this point now is only $1,000. It's not anywhere near any of the companies before years ago, where you literally spent thousands of dollars, if not tens of thousands, if hundreds of thousands of dollars to purchase what they said was a business. So people today, it's more natural to lead with the product, get somebody interested in the product, create desire for that product, and then figure out, do they just want to buy the product? Do they need it to get, at a discount? Do they want to get it for free? Or are they in a position where they want to go ahead and earn money? So this is really what your funnel should look like. The more people that you invite into your funnel, and you'll notice that I don't have a time limit on this funnel. It doesn't matter how long they're in your funnel. So we just want to keep people moving into our funnel, and I'll talk about what goes on in the funnel. But the more people you get into that funnel, the more, builders that you will, and that's the ultimate end that we want, is builders in our company. So when we think about that, it's going to come from friendshipping. And again, those are personal friends. And when I look at, everybody on here, I mean, it's really good because we've all been around for a few decades now. We've got tons of friends from all different walks of life and ways that we know them. So, it could be personal friends. And again, I think I've said this before, and I've kind of been on this trend. And I actually had a great post the other day. The ultimate thing that we can have as we get older, as we add more years to our life, is our health. And so there's not a reason why nobody would not want to share this opportunity, these products, with anybody, because we know by far we have the best products out there. We have products that actually extend life. I mean, when you think about the studies we have, nobody's got what we've got. So why wouldn't, it's like if you knew you had a pot of gold somewhere, why wouldn't you want to tell your friends and share with your friends and stuff? So, this is something that if you're kind of hung up on introducing this to your friends, it's not coming from the right place. Because if you've got something really good, you're going to want to tell all your friends and family. And the way that I always do it is very low key. You'll notice my approach to everything is extremely low key. And I'll go through the not getting a no at the end of this. But, I might have something that can help you. That's all I ever say. I love people talk. They say they got a little arthritis, they got this, they got that, whatever's going on. And I always say, I might have something that'll help you. And then I'm either going to direct them to our product group, Lifespan Matters, or I'll send them a video or something. But, again, it's not on me. I'm just sharing information with them. Same thing with acquaintances and associates. I'm going to show you something we've been doing more recently. Referrals, the collagen has been a gold mine, because as you find your customers on the collagen, other people are noticing that their face or their arms or whatever looks better. And they're like, tell me, what are you doing? Cold market, I've got another tool to show you how easy it is to be able to get into cold market and people that you meet. So all these people from all different ways. And, in any given day, as long as you're outside of your house, you should be able to meet a few of these people. And our interactions these days, unlike years ago where we might spend time with somebody, everything is super quick. So just like I said, if it was a totally cold person that we just met and I was talking to them, I might have something that'll help you. Give me your phone number and I'll send you a video. Or, if they're on Facebook, I even hate to ask Facebook because not everybody's on Facebook these days. I've been big myself on collecting phone numbers. As long as you keep yourself organized, that's fine. But, when I meet people, I might have something that'll help you. They say, sure, what is it? Give me your phone number, I'll send you. Notice I'm just telling them what to do. I'm not really asking at that point, may I have your phone number? I'm like, give me your phone number. So a little bit of direction there. And that just comes from confidence over the years. So we're going to listen. Biggest thing you can do is listen, ask questions. And a lot of times I'll ask questions until they'll ask me what we do. And again, very simple. We've got this card. I think it's the next thing that comes up. Yeah. So I was thinking about this. We've been using this a lot. And whenever anybody asks me, and I know up in Canada, you don't have collagen, or I'm not sure if you have collagen or if you're using it, but this same card could be used for Protandim. What if you had the chart on there that showed the reduction in oxidative stress and a few of the studies? I mean, this is actually a gold mine. This is, and I know Angie and Allie were the original creators of this. I can't tell you, we've gone through a second 500 batch because that's how often when somebody asks me what I do, and I carry these cards everywhere, I just show them this and they see the before and afters, and you give them information, makes it really easy for people to be able to order, and then I simply collect their telephone number or their email so that I can continue to drip on them. So I think having something simple and quick is important, having access to it at all times as well. But we want to create interest, and that card creates interest. But anything you're saying, you've got to create interest with these people so that you kind of get them, wanting to know more. So, if it's Protandim, depending on who the person is, if they're into longevity, if they're into pro-aging, whatever they might be into, I've got something that can help you. But I always kind of get them to talk about what it is that they want. What kind of benefits do they want from the products or the business? I have yet to ever send a link to somebody, and this is important. This is really important. Even if somebody gives me all the buying signals, I want your link, I want to get that stuff right away. I always ask, what kind of benefits do you expect from it? What are you looking for? What are you looking to happen? Again, this is part of getting people to, talk more about what they want and not us. You see the top line talks about share your story. I may mention a line about the benefits that I got with the products or the opportunity quickly, but I'm still always focused on them. What kind of benefits would you like? Or, are they looking for the product benefits? Are they looking for the business benefits? That is the most important thing you can do, because our culture has shifted. It has greatly shifted from people interested in other people to people really only being, and it's sad, only interested in themselves. So as long as you're talking about them, you will keep their attention, but you're also gaining, almost like ammunition to be able to help them get the benefits that they want, because now what they want. They've told you what they want. So that's why I'll always ask, even after they said, I definitely want that link, send me that link. I'll say, great, what kind of benefits, what are you looking for? What's your problem? What's your issue? Whatever it is. I want to know, like if it's a collagen, are they unhappy with their jowls, or what's the deal going on? Or, if they're looking to use the Protandim, what kind of results are they looking for? That very, very important there. So that's where we're going to get potential customers. And again, remember I said, 80% of our company is customers. So the shift has really come, and there's two different shifts going on. A lot of times women want to use a product first and get benefits before they will recommend it to anyone, before they'll start a business. So that's why I'm saying, potential customers, this is where it comes. I don't know if the guys are different or not. I mean, maybe they want to talk money faster these days than they did before, or less than they did before, but everybody wants benefits of the product. So even the guys, you look at, I know guys are discounting maybe the collagen or anti-aging or pro-aging, whatever these days. But you know what, if you go to any department store, you'll see that the men's counters for skincare and everything else is equally with as much time as the women these days. And, when we talk about some of the benefits of Protandim and the collagen, there are benefits directly at men. So, if you haven't seen Dr. Donde's YouTube on the collagen product for men, that those are things that you keep in your arsenal so that you can easily share those. You can direct the conversation that way. So again, if you're a guy on here, you're going to direct the conversation a little bit different. What guys talk about, women talk about different things. But this is where we're going to get our potential customers, from listening from them, the benefits or results that they want from the products. And then it's going to be, we're going to create the desire to help them want to get the products. And so, I talk, I listen, answer questions, and then I just find out, do they want to get it? Do they want a link? Do they want to get a discount? Do they want to get it free? When they want a discount or they want it free, or somebody comes back to you and says it's too expensive, that's your door opener to find out, if they want to be not only a customer, but also if they want to be, a consultant as well. So again, all this is going in there. There is no time frame. Somebody, and I've had people, and Bobby could tell you, I'm really good at my follow-up. I'm probably not a really great recruiter, but I am really good at my follow-up, so that I always have people in that funnel that I'm continually touching bases. So like when we do that launch tomorrow night, everybody in my funnel will get an invite to the launch, regardless of if they've told me the last 10 times, no, I don't want to look at it, and people will not say that. They'll just say, I'm busy. It's not a good time for me. And that's an opportunity to say, well, if you can't make it and there's a recording, if I can grab the recording, would you be interested in seeing it? So you see, I use the term dripping. I'm continually dripping on these people, giving them information, because I know one day, just like myself, I can remember when we first got involved in the industry, somebody had given me skincare before we had skincare. And it was one of those parties that you had to go to, the girls' parties. And I really didn't want to go, but I went and I just spent money on this skincare. And because I spent money, I put it in my medicine cabinet. I didn't throw it out, but I threw out all the paperwork and whatever stuff the lady gave me with it. But I kept the product because I paid for the product. And people do this with samples too. They keep the samples, they hold on to them. Well, one day when I was looking in the mirror, I didn't like the way my face looked, so I used the skincare. I wound up liking it, but I didn't know who to get back to. So that's when we started labeling everything at that point. But that moment for me was no different than the woman that wakes up tomorrow and says, I don't like the way my face looks. I need that collagen that April was talking about. I need that Protandim stuff that she was talking about, whatever she's talking about. So it's always that moment. Or maybe their life gets turned upside down and they lose their job, or life just comes at them at a different way. Now they need to add some supplemental income. Maybe they need to replace some income. Maybe they all of a sudden have visions of making a lot of money. All that changes over time. And a lot of times that can come from a customer who just is a customer, and somebody asks them about the product, and all of a sudden they're like, other people other than me are interested in this product. Maybe I should look at that. I've had people where they introduced Protandim, where they were using Protandim. They told somebody else about Protandim, and I'm really small balling this, but there's $16 that they used to earn on the old plan up front. That was enough for people to say, you know what, I want to sign up. I want to be a consultant. I want in the business, because it showed them enough of, that there's proof that you can actually make money with this, and people other than them wanted it. So a lot of this comes back to the person that you're talking to. And that's why I said, adding all this information and continually dripping on the person makes it more believable for them, because a lot of people out there, they just don't believe it. And maybe you've heard it. They just say, I'm not good at sales. And then I'll always say, what part of what I just did to you could you not do? And they're like, oh yeah, they realize it. So, that's why this funnel becomes powerful, because you have so many different things going on at once, and you just never know what's going to be falling out there. So we need to lead by example when we're doing this with customers. Just like I've got a story, and you've heard me week after week, I've got a story every week for something that went on with a consultant, went on with a customer, things that keep going on. You keep sharing these stories, and people know that you're out there recruiting. You've got more people coming in. You've got lots of customers loving the product. It makes it more doable for everyone else. And so you need to lead by that example with your business, so that those that have gotten in business with you know that you're doing the business. Okay. And then again, we're going to receive friends. That's what they are, friends. They become your friends at the top. They become potential prospects. They become potential customers. They become customers. They become consultants and become builders. And you notice as we get to the bottom, it's a lot less. So we'll have a lot more customers. Some of those customers, and that's where we get a majority of our consultants from, will come from customers who've gotten great results on the product, who either somebody else saw the results they were getting, or they decided this product's amazing, I want to tell everybody else about it. Out of those consultants, again, maybe only 20% are consultants, 3 to 5% are going to be the big builders. Those are the ones that are going to build a business day in and day out. But you know what? It's pretty cool because anybody can be a builder. I'm sure, and you know, Bobby and I, we've been in this industry for 31 years. When we were originally introduced to this industry, it was because Bobby asked somebody to come to a meeting. He asked somebody to come to a meeting. Nobody invited us.
No, I asked if I could come to the meeting.
Yeah, if you could come to the meeting. You know, I worked with my accountant who had been in like 11 years. I worked with him. He'd been in like 11 different, you know, multi-level marketing companies, never offered me the opportunity. We bought Amway soap because it was the direction of the people that owned the house that we were renting when we first got married. Nobody ever offered us that opportunity. They never made it available to us. We didn't even know this whole industry resulted out there. So that's why I'm saying, you know, the builders are the ones that'll go out and do it. But sometimes we don't make that opportunity available to others because we perceive that maybe they've got everything going on in their life. But at the age of most people in this company, and the average age of LifeVantage last time I checked was age 60, we all need our health as we go into these next few decades. So you really have something very powerful. And I can't think of a better business to go through. And I think I said this last week, go through, if you want to call it retirement or these years, because, you know, everything I read, and I've been reading a lot about this pro-aging stuff, staying active, staying connected, having a goal, all these things will give us not only the longevity, but more important, the health that we want. We can take all the vitamins and supplements we want, but if we don't have those other things going on too, things that keep us motivated, things that make us get out of bed every day, that social connection I hear is just huge, bigger than we can ever imagine. These things are so important. And our company offers us that, and we can do that when we want, wherever we want, really. I mean, we have no limitations. You know, one of the things when we went to our reunion a few weeks ago is people were like, oh my goodness, you two have been traveling for years. You travel everywhere. And, you know, truthfully, I didn't think anything of it. It was normal life for us. That's what we always thought. But, you know, not everybody has had a lifestyle such as that. So this is an amazing company and opportunity. But these are just a few keynotes that I want you to take. We're always networking. I want you to really get that down. Always looking to connect. I'm always looking to gather telephone numbers, email addresses, connect on Facebook. You know, my husband is really good at starting conversations, but I'm very, very focused on what I'm doing. And my conversation is directed at getting information because I know people are busy. If I get their information today, I can continue to drip on them day after day after day. So we are always networking, always ask for their information. Do not give yours. It is not critical that you give yours at that point, but that you gather telephone numbers, you gather email, whatever your preference is, you gather Facebook. It's more important that you have their information than that they have yours. So don't think you're going to go out and just give some business cards and people are going to call you. It doesn't quite work that way. We need to continue to drip on people. Identify the benefits they want. We're not selling. We're simply sharing and giving them what they want, but we have to ask enough questions to figure out, you know, what is it that they want from, you know, the products or the opportunity or whatever. Continue to drip and offer info, you know, events, links like tomorrow night. You know, I'd be letting everybody know about it. You know, hey, I don't know if you're interested. We've got a really cool Zoom, going to go over the new study on collagen, the amazing results. Have you seen the results? I may share some pictures with them, that type of thing. If I've not already been talking to them, that would be more cold. This is huge. There never should be a time when you're talking to somebody that you get a no. They should be able to stay in your funnel forever. So one of the ways when somebody says to me, oh, you know what, I can't join tomorrow night. I'm too busy. I'm like, or I already got plans, whatever they might say. So, you know, the first thing I might say is no worries. You know, if I can get the recording, do you want to see the recording? But if for some reason they said, nah, you know what, I'm really not interested right now, I'd say, or maybe they're saying it's a busy time. My son's getting married. I just don't have the time for it right now. No worries. Would it be all right if I called you in a month or 2 months or 3 months or whatever the excuse was, depending on, if somebody was getting married, getting sick, they were traveling, whatever. Would it be all right if I touch base with you? So if you can remember that, that will keep people in your funnel so that you never get a hard no. It should never come to that. You should always be able to offer an alternative so that you can keep, again, as many people in that funnel, continue dripping on those people as possible. I don't know that this is as critical as it used to be. We used to do a lot of, hard recruiting. And so, one of the things I do know is the more people that you friendship, the more people that are going to become consultants, the more people that are going to become customers, the more people are going to become in your business. So it is important that you do make a point of it. And, there are times in this business, where you may run hard, and you hear this sometimes, people saying we're going to do a 90-day run. We may do a lot of, reach outs and stuff for 90 days, then maybe we'll take a week or 2 off or whatever. So, you can go at your pace. If life is being thrown at you, let's say you've got, 3 kids going back to school next week and it's just a crazy week. So maybe you don't get as much friendship thing done, but you do have to catch up so you continually add people to that funnel, because after a while, if you're not adding, people are just, they're dropping out, they're dissipating, and then you've got nobody falling through. So we want to make sure that we continue to make sure we're doing a lot of friendshipping. The only 2 ways that we know to grow faster are to friendship more people and just improve your skills. It may not seem like a skill, but I can promise you, there was a time where I had like a lot of stickies, a lot of things what to say around my computer. I really kind of had to practice some of those things. Like when somebody said, oh, I'm too busy now, my son's getting married. I had to learn to say those things. So you may want to put some in, I know some of you have heard me before, you may want to put some stickies up. I have a whiteboard with sayings and links to websites and different things that I need to use. Remember, you could do it in a notebook, whatever is your comfort, but you will find as you move along through this journey, you just get better and better at it. I mean, I was horrible in the beginning. We had a really strong weight loss product, and I shudder to think, even some of my Facebook messages, when I look at them, how abrupt I was early on. But, that first weight loss product, Bobby can tell you, I was kind of like targeting fat people in the CVS, what do you call it? The drugstore. I mean, it just like, my whole picture was just making fat people thin was, what my thoughts were. It was so unfriendly when you think about it, and actually downright rude. But we get better at this, and we really are able to do this in a low-key approach that makes them feel good and makes you feel good as we go through this. So your skills will definitely get improved. So again, just friendshipping, create interest in it, create desire, and create duplication is really what it's all about. So, that's my funnel training. The big thing is the more you put in, the more are going to come out each time. And that's what's most important about that. So let me see if I can stop this share, if I can find it. Oh, where did it pause?
The stop share should be at the top.
I know I can't get my mouse up there. There we go. Okay. Is it back? There we go. Okay. Sorry.
It's funny. And how about a hand for April? Was that awesome or what? It's you've heard me say, and you've heard April say, the people enroll in flurries. We get them in flurries, okay? It seems like as soon as we get one, you get 2, 3, or 4, okay? They just come in flurries. And I can promise you this, when that happens, if you look back a few weeks or a month or so, you had a good flurry at putting people into your funnel. You had a stretch where you just were out meeting people, and and again, we do this all the time. Even this afternoon, we went to our favorite tiki bar locally here, and there were no seats. Our favorite guy was singing. He's a one-man band, and there were no seats. And this couple was sitting at a table right next to us. They saw that there weren't seats and they said, hey, why don't you sit with us? Because they were at like a big picnic table and it was just two of them, and they said, and before you, and I'm like, they had these really sweet, friendly faces. It was a couple, a husband and wife. And we sat down, and before you know it, we're talking about our kids. They had just dropped their two off at college. They had grown up in Ireland. Actually, they had a very interesting story in Belfast, Ireland, and worked at the same company and got recruited and moved to Miami like 20 years ago. And ended up, long story short, he's retired. She's with Disney now. They live up in Central Florida now. But, it's two people we didn't know an hour earlier. And then the people sitting in back of us, because we kept the table after they left, they were there with their dog. And if you know anything about me and April, you know how we feel about dogs. I mean, we just absolutely love them. And they had a big Rottweiler, a female, a sweetie pie. And I'm looking, inviting the dog to come hang out with me. She's right behind me, and the mother and father of the dog were just as friendly as can be. And we spent another half hour talking to them. And then the one-man band, he knows us, he sees us in the back of the room, he comes over to the table. And the reason I'm bringing this up is we have flurries of when we meet people. Maybe we were at a party, maybe we were at a wedding, maybe we were at a graduation, maybe we were at a shower. We have these flurries of when we meet people. And if you go through that process that April just spoke about, you'll have a flurry where things come out of the bottom of that funnel. But the one thing that you have to understand, and this is a very, very important lesson, many, many, many more people are going to be poured into top of that funnel than come out at the bottom. Just because you put somebody in there, just because you can do everything right with a person and they still don't do it. And it doesn't mean that you didn't do everything right. It just means the timing wasn't right for that person for whatever reason it was. And that's why we have to put everybody in and allow the process. And you've heard this term, and I don't like it, but it makes sense. You've heard this term. People say fall in love with the process, not the results. Well, I'm kind of like, the heck with that. I want winning results. Who cares about the process? But you know what? They're right. Okay, if you master the process, what April just shared, you're going to get the results. It's going to happen. The only thing is it's going to happen when it happens and not necessarily on your time frame. Okay, so if you keep your funnel filled and don't make this mistake. If you have a flurry, 2, 3, 4, 5 people come in the same month, don't make the mistake of thinking you've arrived, because you haven't. Okay, when you arrive in this business? Never. You never arrive in this business. Okay, we just continue to grow, but we never arrive. Okay, but if you have that flurry, a warning flag, at the beach, the red flag is riptide. Watch it. If you're going in the water. Well, a warning flag should go up when you have one of those flurries to make sure you're putting more people in the top of that funnel again, because the funnel just produced. And you got to be adding more to the top so that more can come out of the bottom. So anyway, April, great job with that. That brings back memories. Boy, that was, how about you, Lynn? Was that memories, Lynn, or what? So anyway, the big event, the most important thing you can do between tonight and tomorrow is get as many guests as you can on tomorrow night. And to my new Canadian friends, hey, you're eligible for the bottle and the t-shirts and the fanny pack too. If you get your guest on, Fred will just let me know, you let me know how many you had on, and I don't mind mailing something to Canada. I have no issue with that at all. So everybody's welcome. It's just a little something extra. Every once in a while we ask the company to send some swag so we can give it away, and we're giving it away. So April, anything that we may have missed? Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Today's a good day, or tonight or tomorrow, to look at your back office, because you just had the 4th shipment went out of your auto ships, your subscriptions. It'll give you a good idea. We got one more that goes out on the 25th. It'll give you a good idea where you are for the month and maybe motivate you to make a few extra reach outs tomorrow, because you might be close to being Onyx, or you might be getting close to being Emerald or Sapphire or Diamond. And you never know how hard to push unless you know exactly where you are. Okay, so it wouldn't be a bad idea to check things out, but we'll open it up. Any questions, comments, thoughts? Please, you will need to unmute yourself because everyone was muted, so. The phones are open.
Bob, I have a question.
Hey,
The,
how are you?
I'm well. The events later in the month and early next month that are in Orlando, are those are in person only?
They're at a hotel. They're in person. Yeah, they're all in the same hotel in Orlando. And those flyers that I showed, they're posted in the collagen group. And they're also posted on the Team Unity group. There, you can download them right from there.
Okay,
If you remind me, I'll just text them to you too. I don't mind doing that too. So
that's okay. But because I remember when you did the one in Oak Brook in February, that there was a I think it was Rachel zoomed in.
yeah, no, there's no Zooms connected to these. These are live events only.
Okay, that's
Yep.
all I want to know. Thanks.
Who else? Any other questions, comments, thoughts? So let me see a raise of hands. We have 2 screens worth of people here, but who's got guests for tomorrow night? Raise your hand. Okay. Who's planning on at least making a run at getting a t-shirt or a water bottle or a fanny pack or something? Who's planning on at least trying to get something? Okay. You know, for me and April, our ratio, and I may have mentioned this, we seem to be in the range of 3 and get 1. In other words, if 3 people confirm they're going to be on tomorrow night, 1 will actually be there. So, and you're going to have to find your own ratio. You may have a 4-to-1, you may have a 2-to-1. Okay. But you're going to have to figure out what that is. But if you want 1, 2, or 3 on, you got to have confirmations from at least double to triple that number. And between what's in your phone and what's on Facebook and all the people that you know and have met in your lifetime, that's not hard to do. Okay. It's not hard to do. And when April mentioned friends and friendships, you know, that doesn't mean the people that you have coffee with now every once in a while. That means all the people that you've met since junior high and high school and college and your wedding and everything since. They're still your friends, even if you haven't talked to them in a while. So don't prejudge, you know, and if you haven't talked to that person in a while, it may not be appropriate to just invite them to something that may be a little weird, and you should never be weird. But it would be nice for you to say, hey, I was going through whatever, my phone or something. I came across, you know, a card, a picture, your name, your number. I was just curious, man. I wanted to say hi and see how you're doing and at least break the ice with the person. You know that we do these every month live, and you know that they're recorded. And if you happen to end up in a business conversation, you can always get the recording from the previous one to share. We always have, it's on our YouTube channel. It's on in the Facebook group. So you can always ask us if you can't find it and we'll help you find it. But your friends are everyone you've ever met. Okay, those are your friends. And like I said, you don't need to be weird. But if you come across someone that you haven't talked to in 5 or 10 years or more, then just say something like what I just said and break the ice and warm up with them, you know, and see if you can connect with them on Facebook, see if they're on Instagram, just see where you can connect with them, and they go into your funnel. They may not be a guest for tomorrow night, but they go into your funnel. That's someone that goes in the top. So anyone else, anything else? We good? All right, so let's make the record. With the best month we had in recent months was last month. We had 55 on and half of them were guests. So let's see what we can do this month, tomorrow night, to have more than that and have at least half of them be guests. That's a great ratio, by the way, folks. If we can get 60 or 70 on tomorrow and 30, 35 of them are guests, that's excellent. That means everybody's going to do some business. Okay, that's a great ratio. So, but have a good night. Thanks for joining. We'll get this edited, and if any of you
Thank you.
team missed April's training, we'll get it posted in the group a little later tonight. Okay. Good night,
Okay,
everyone.
thanks. Good night.
Bye-bye.